I've got a great idea. Come on, let's get started.
Look around, find your inspiration. Take that step, use your imagination. You don't need to go direct. The road may not lead where you expect, 'cause it's the trip, it's not the destination. Make the magic take the stage. Roll the camera, turn the page. Take a chance and do the dance. Our story starts with a beat in the heart. Find your own voice. Find your own voice. It's what sets you apart. Our story starts with a beat in the heart.
Oh, hi. I'm Tomie DePaola. Want to tell some stories? Come on in. I love getting mail, don't you? Especially when it's a letter from a friend. Oh, here's a note from a reader who lives near the ocean. He says, "Dear Tomie, I'm learning how to surf and really enjoying it. If you want to know what swam right up next to my surfboard yesterday, turn the page." Ah, wow. Can you imagine this big blue dolphin swimming next to my friend's surfboard? Letters are one great way to tell stories. And so are photographs and costumes, even collections of dolls, stamps, trading cards, and other favorite things.
Hey, Tommy, did I get any mail?
Oh, sorry, Gabe, not today.
I never get any letters. But then again, I never send letters. But that's only because I don't have anything to write about.
I bet you do. You can write about what you've done, what you want to do, what you're thinking.
What I'm thinking? Hey, I'm thinking I just got an idea for a letter.
See? Everyone has something to say.
This is so true, Tommy.
Oh, hello, Streganona. That's right. When you send someone a letter, you're telling the story of what's happened to you.
See, just like Big Anthony did for his mama. Listen, I will tell you. It was late afternoon. Bambolona had gone into the village to visit her family, leaving just Big Anthony and me.
Think.
Big Anthony, you are thinking so hard that I can hear the wheels turning in your head.
Sorry, Streganona. I'll try to think more quietly.
Ah, grazie. Aspetta, wait, Big Anthony. What is it that has you thinking so much?
I'm trying to write a letter home to my mama.
Oh, you are such a good boy. Mama loves to get a letter from her bambino, her baby. So, what are you going to tell her in this letter?
That's the problem, Streganona. I can't think of a single thing to write.
Ugh, this is not good. There must be something that has happened to you that you can tell her.
Think. Well, I did go into the village last week to buy groceries, but nothing really happened there.
And now, as is our village tradition, it's time for the annual Running of the Bunnies. Ready, set, go!
Bunny running. Big deal. Oh, and the other day, I did play catch with the sheep.
Oh.
Come on, sheep. You can't throw as hard as I can. Oh! My mistake.
Oh, but Big Anthony, what about last week when I showed you and the cow how to dance? No, like this. Stop. Ooh, what about the time last month when we all went ice skating together? With the skate,
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I can't believe it! All that practicing, and I fell.
Didn't you tell me just last night about what happened with the goat?
Yeah. You're my good friend, Goat. If only you could talk, the things we could tell each other.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because earlier today I snuck into Striganona's cottage and ate some of her magic clover. And not only can I talk, I can sing. Figaro, 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 Figaro.
I never really liked that song.
Everyone's a critic.
You see, Stregonona, I lead a dull life. There's nothing there worth writing in this letter to my mama.
Big Anthony, it doesn't matter what you write about, just that you care enough to send her your love.
Really?
See? Think, 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 think.
Oh. Ha ha. Oh, yes. Thank you, Stregonona. That was a great idea of what to write to my mama.
Great idea. What idea?
Well, look. Dear Mama, I love you, your son, Big Anthony. Do you really think Mama will like this story?
Oh, more than you could ever imagine. Mwah. Such a good boy. So you see, even Big Anthony can tell a beautiful story, and a love story at that. Ciao, Tomie.
Ciao, Stregonona. Letters are a kind of story, even if they're just a few words or a picture that you send to friends or family. Speaking of pictures, take a look at this. Every picture tells a story. What story do you see? Today is turning into a big mail day. I just got this special delivery package. It's from a friend of mine who always sends me a story about her vacation in a big box like this. You see, she packs up things she finds on her trip, and those things tell the story about where she's been and what she's done. Figuring it all out is like solving a mystery. Box 1. Has a fan in it. So I guess she went someplace warm. Box 2. Sand. So I was right. She did go someplace warm. Might have been the beach or the desert. What do you think? Let's check box number 3. A cactus. A beach with a cactus on it? Well, that's unusual. I bet it was the desert. I wonder where this desert was. Let's open up box number 4 and find out. Aha! A cowboy hat and a map of Texas. And here's a note telling me all about the things she did on her vacation. Of course, you don't have to go on a vacation to tell a story this way. You can gather things you find on the way to school or the park or any place you go. Now, let's meet a friend of mine who puts together pieces of fabric to tell her stories. Today's guest storyteller, Charlotte Bird.
Hi, Tommy. Hi, Gabe. My name's Charlotte Bird. I'm a textile artist. I make things out of cloth. And today I want to show you a quilt that I'm working on so that I can show you the process that I go through to tell a story. I started making quilts about 10 years ago. The quilts that I make tell stories in a visual sort of way. I use little bits of fabric and sew them together and use the images that come from the stories that I'm reading. I get ideas from just about everywhere. I read a lot, I watch television, I listen to music, I do a lot of playing with pictures in my head. This one's called Imagination. It's from a quote from Albert Einstein. Imagination is more important than knowledge. As a textile artist, I use a variety of tools. The usual ones, scissors and an iron and a sewing machine. I also use buttons and ribbon and paint. Sometimes I even use a rubber ducky. I was reading a book of children's poetry the other day and found a lullaby that I really liked. The golden dreamboat's ready, all her silken sails are spread, and the breeze is gently blowing to the fairy port of bed. Look at all of those images. There's this big fat cloud with fat cheeks blowing the wind onto the boat. The boat, if you think about it a little bit, it can become a bed, and it's sailing off out to sea.
This is the checkerboard I'm going to start with for this project. Basically, I sew strips of fabric together and then cut them and then turn them around and sew them back together again.
Once I got the idea, then I went to some reference books I have to look at the shapes of boats and beds. And then I started to draw it on a big sheet of paper so that I could get some idea of the relationship of the shapes. And then I went to colored construction paper because I wanted to start figuring out what kinds of colors I was going to use so that they'd stand out from the background. From there, I'll take those shapes that I've cut out of construction paper and pick out the fabrics that I want to use as the actual fabric shapes and use those construction paper shapes as templates to draw the shape and cut it out, and eventually I'll put it on the fabric and sew it down. Once I've got the images sewn down where I want them, then I take the stencils of the words and I move them around until I really like where they're located. And I press them down and paint them with textile paint. I use textiles and quilts to tell stories. You can tell stories any way you want. When your parents are reading your bedtime stories at night, close your eyes and think about the images from the stories that they're reading. So get out there and tell your story. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.
Thanks for telling us about your quilt, Charlotte. Isn't it amazing how much one can say with just a needle and thread?
It sure is. I hope I can say as much with pens and pencils.
Are you working on your letter?
Yeah, I want to put a picture in it, but right now I'm just doodling.
But sometimes doodles can turn out to be amazing pictures or drawings.
You're not pulling my tail, are you?
It's true, Gabe. If you really look carefully at your doodles, sometimes you can find interesting hidden pictures.
I still don't see a picture in here.
Let me help you.
Wow, it kind of looks like a tiger. I didn't know I could draw a tiger.
I'm sure there are more pictures in there, Gabe. Keep searching. Check out your scribbles and doodles. You might be surprised at what you find.
Hey, Tommy, that tiger is climbing the Eiffel Tower.
Very surprised.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I do. That's
at it.
really great.
Yeah, it's
Now, what
halfway
about
up.
down here? What do you think this is? And now,
Hey,
let's
Tommy,
see.
could this become a story?
Sure.
And this?
Absolutely.
And how about this?
Of course, Gabe. You can turn almost anything into a story. And now, let's see what you've turned into a story. Everyone has stories to tell, and their own way to tell them. It's about sharing what's in your heart and letting the world know, this is my story.
It's called The Chase. And first, here's a piece of pizza, and here is a horse trying to eat it, and here's a kangaroo trying to eat the horse, and the tiger's trying to eat the kangaroo, and the poacher's trying to shoot with the tiger, and then these three teeny little turtles are chasing the poacher, and the big bear is chasing the three little turtles, and the big snake is chasing the bear, and the big king turtle is chasing the snake, and the minion alligator is chasing the big king turtle.
You sure come up with new and different ways to tell stories, don't they, Gabe? Is it me, or does he always seem to disappear right around now? Gabe! Gabe!
Hey, want to hear the latest?
I'm all ears. Get it? I'm a rabbit, and I'm all ears because I got big ears.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Never mind.
Tommy says letters, jokes, photos, and even stuff you collect are a kind of storytelling.
That is positively radical.
Not to mention radically positive.
Dare I say it implores one to cogitate in a most harmonious fashion? What'd he say? In other words, hit it! Keep on telling stories!
What kind of things can be stories?
It might amaze you. Check it out, Chet. Poems and jokes, silly rhymes you hear, faded photos, saved from yesteryear, precious letters that you still hold dear. These are stories you find everywhere.
Come together now.
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
I got more. Trading cards, shoot. You collected, or a song, shoot. That you selected, that dance, shoot. You perfected, finding stories where you least expected. La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Tell me a story. Paint a scene.
Put it on a screen.
Tell me a story. There's a joke or a poem in every home. You gotta keep on telling stories. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. You can find stories in the most unusual places.
Tell me more.
I once found a story sorting through my winter clothes.
Your winter clothes? What kind of story you find in there?
A glove story.
That one gives even me the chill.
Yeah, I wish I thought of it.
Well, shall we return to the tune?
Right on schedule.
Yeah.
Tell me a story.
There's sure a lot of storytelling going on.
Yeah, and we didn't even know it.
Tell me a story. Every song you sing, gotta make it your thing. Gotta keep on telling stories. You know you won't be sorry if you keep on telling stories. Keep on!
Stories can take many different forms. Jokes, songs, postcards and letters, drawings, gifts.
Ooh, gifts, I like that one.
Oh, and sometimes stories can be right under our feet.
Under my feet? What do you mean?
I guess that does need a little more explanation. Maybe it'll all make sense once you hear what happened just after we moved into 26 Fairmount Avenue. They had put in front steps and a front wall and had just poured the cement for the sidewalk. It was exciting. I got to put my name and handprints in the cement, just like the movie stars do in Hollywood. Mom and Dad said it was okay. They knew those handprints on the sidewalk would always remind us of when we first moved in. Once the sidewalk was finished, the real adventure began. It was time to put in the driveway. First, a big truck came and poured tar and stones. Then the tar and stones had to be packed down. Dad could have paid a man with a steamroller, but he decided to do it himself with a hand roller. My mom was not so sure that this was a good idea. Mom was right. Dad tried pushing and pulling the roller. He huffed and he puffed, but every time the roller just rolled back down before he could get it up the hill. All of a sudden, I had an idea. I said, "Hey, Daddy, why don't you tie some rope to the handle of the roller? You could pull it up and then let it down." Dad must have liked the idea because he said, "Hey, Tommy, you sure learned a lot in school." It worked. Before long, the driveway was done. There was only one problem. Dad had made the driveway so smooth that it was really slippery. So slippery that the car would only make it part of the way up. Then the tires would spin and the car would slip backward. But the best part was, if you had leather soles on your shoes, you could slide all the way down. My brother Buddy and I loved that driveway. We'd slide down that driveway so fast that sometimes I thought I was really flying. And sometimes I fell and skinned my knees in the gravel. Finally, my mom told my dad, "Joe, you have to get that driveway fixed. Someone is going to get hurt." Dad made a phone call, and a man arrived in a truck. He took one look and said, "You rolled it too much. You made it smooth as glass. I can fix it, but it'll cost you." The next day, the truck came back with more tar and stones and a small steamroller. In no time, the driveway was fixed. It was better for cars, but it wasn't very good for sliding anymore. Back when we lived at 26 Fairmount Avenue. So you see, Gabe, I found a story under my feet. Gabe?
And you gave me a great idea. I want to try that sliding thing just like you did. Here goes.
Oh, take it easy, Gabe. Not too fast. Look out for that. Remember, keep telling stories.
I'm back. You ought to see the story I made.
Looks like another fine mess, Gabe.